What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for episode 24 of our Hollywood Tech Honey Hunters Dynasty here in College Football Revamped in NCAA Football 14. And we pick up today's episode, starting this season, our big move from the Sun Belt Conference as a two-time Sun Belt defending champion to the ACC with a 4-0 start. And in today's episode, we're going to take our number 11 ranked Hollywood Tech, and we got Syracuse at home, which is a huge game. That Syracuse game at home, we have scheduled 90% of our recruits to take that visit. And you do not ever want to lose when you have all those guys coming to town. And then week 8, this was a purposely scheduled matchup against Louisiana Raging Cajuns, who was the rematch of last year's Sun Belt Championship. We have Nerds versus Jocks, which who knows what the ranking's going to end up being there, because you know, I don't plan on losing. I hope they don't plan on losing. That could be a top 5 matchup right there. And then we're going to finish up, hopefully, with another 4-0 sweep with Georgia Tech week 10. But very, very tough schedule. But with how we are playing, how we're moving the football, how we're absolutely crushing it. I mean, look at that right there. Syracuse is a good team. They are a good team. But we are a different animal this year. We have the number 1 rush defense in the nation. Number 14 pass defense in the nation. Top 50 pass offense. Top 30 overall offense. And we're still figuring it out. We beat Virginia Tech, FCS. We smoked Clemson. And we handled business in a professional victory over Duke. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm going to say, at minimum, Syracuse, Louisiana, and Georgia Tech need to be wins. You always can throw a little bit of a wrench into things with Nerds versus Jocks. There's a reason why we schedule it, and Stanford's been an absolute beast. So it's not going to be, it's never fair to assume we're going to win, but we're head-to-head in this Nerds versus Jocks series. I believe it's, 3-1 right now for the good guys? So hell yeah, we could come back and beat them here, especially with how well we're playing this season. But I'm going to say, at minimum, our goal for today's episode is 3-1 at worst. Shit, opening drive, and we are immediately seeing Syracuse. I think they're going to be much more difficult defensively than they are offensively. They got some dogs up here. So let's use our athletes out in space. Keytron Jackson, 13 yards, and we're starting to get a little deep in Syracuse's territory. Don't love Coach's call here going back-to-back runs. I like the run, but I mean, our hottest player offensively is Shannon Wyatt and our wide receivers, Malik Neighbors, Jackson. So anytime you're just kind of committing, almost for like a full down and distant, just like, we're going to run it. It's just less opportunities for your money makers. 3rd and 4. Boom, we got him right there in the middle. Webb, the 6'7" target, 18 yards into the red zone. Oh, Malik Neighbors wide open. This is just a disgusting offense. From where I wish Big Bob and Tito Williams were still here to see where we're at today. What a route. Let's rock and roll here again. Come on, baby. Hills on the inside. It's another quick score before the end of the first. 3-0 from Syracuse. And a punishing opening quarter for Hollywood Tech. I will say right now, Syracuse on offense, Gadsden the second at the top of the screen. He's kind of a tight end wide receiver hybrid. Easily their biggest weapon. They got Hendricks out of the backfield, who's a dog as well. There we go. Let's play some. We have for a 5-yard loss, and he stumbles for 5. I think a big thing for us, Manuel Bush, our App State transfer at D-tackle, our best D lineman, he's out for another 2 weeks. So I really do feel like our defense is kind of just hanging on until we get him back. I'm aimless. I don't know who to be. No. I don't even know if there's going to be anything to challenge it. Usually you kind of... Oh, maybe. That is just a weird. He got ripped back. We're almost lucky that's not an injury and a fumble. I don't know if we're going to be able to check anything out there. Can I even challenge that? Kind of feel like you got to try it. Even if it doesn't count, there's a chance. If not, whatever. Burn the timeout. I don't care. It looks like there's a chance the knee might have fell down there. Or his ass would have hit before the ball came out. I don't know. I'm not optimistic, but we'll see if we can get them to reverse it. But play stands. Damn. There's Gats. I mean, mismatch nightmare, man. That guy's 6'7". Usually we're used to having the 6'7" wide receivers. Webb, Keith Alexander. They got one here in Syracuse. It's tough for our corners. You know, just non-existent pass rush. Absolutely brutal. Quarterback's never going to be challenged. Never put rush to a throw. Yeah, there you go. Right? Try to force it to Malik Neighbors, and bullshit happens. Brutal. Quick chance to make amends for the bad interception. Trying to force to a playmaker. 3rd and 5, and we can get out the field. But our pass rush. Oh my God, shows up! TFL on the backside, Cunningham. And no harm, no fouls. We forced the punt after the turnover. Syracuse is a pain in the dick. I guess that's as good of a compliment as I could throw out to a defense. There we go. Abuse a little slant cheese there. Take us to midfield. Boom, tight it right in the middle, Hills. That's what you want to see. Arguably, field goal range right there. But we all know college kickers. It'd be easier just to keep sticking in our offense and try to get a touchdown. I got to get. They're just selling out for the run. All right, it's going to come down to the kicker. Quick kick. Oslin nails it. The lock-on. And we are 6 seconds away from escaping. I'm not going to say an undeserved victory, but much tougher game than we expected. Oh, it's Cunningham. Huge sack. That's what you want to see, man. Almost anytime you have your big star, your big stud out, you want someone to step up, someone to break out a little bit. And I think that's been Cunningham here off the edge. Look at this, man. Double sacks. Get out of here. Way to seal the game off, boys. Let's go. 5-0. That should also get us inside the top 10 ranking-wise. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know who they're going to give Shannon Wyatt play of the game. Nah, give it to Cunningham. So as I had stated, that was a huge week for our recruits. And luckily, we're starting to get some, some dominoes to fall here. As we get Willie Malone tackle, Sean Davis center, Brian Smith corner, A.J. Woods at wide receiver, John Rivera D tackle, Leon Thompson and Cam Owens at linebacker. And I'm going to imagine we probably close the gap here a little bit on some of the top athletes. So looking at who remains, it does so happen that it is, kind of the big three, if you will. Walter Brown, it says he's a wide receiver, but let's be honest, with that 90 throw power, he is going to be coming in and challenging Shannon Wyatt for the quarterback spot if we can go ahead and get him. But it's a close, tough race, and you love, those aren't brutal leads, but those are leads that, I've seen us choke, I've seen us give up. And I'm really scared of the fact that we don't even have 1,000 points on Walter Brown, who I do think when all is said and done might be the #1 overall target we want to get. Hell, he's a 5-star, 3rd best athlete in the nation. And with that win, we are now up inside the top 10 to number 8. And we have a big matchup here against Louisiana, who's probably a little jealous that we left the Sun Belt, and they're still stuck there. They're 4-1, 3-0 in their conference. This is one we just got to go in, handle business. Their offense looking real good. 40th in points, top 40 in offense, rush offense. Their pass offense ain't too bad. Defense is solid. Their turnover differential is a lot better than us. But we know how to beat them, and we're going to beat them again. All right, third down. We're going to go with the quick throw to Webb. Makes the grab, breaks a couple tackles. He has been a first down machine for us in these first 2 games. How are we going to do a 3rd and 6 here in the red zone? We know we love to be aggressive, so might not be our last attempt at trying to get to the end zone here, but we'll see. That was a long wait, man. We got Malik Neighbor against his former team, but when you go against a former team like that, they got a lot of guys on defense that know how to contain one of the best wide receivers in the nation. It is 4th and 6. Let's see if we can get it. I don't hate this call. I hate that call. All right, we got to do a 3rd and 6. Trialing to bail out the offense after a turnover, which is kind of how our defense gets the job done. They go for a screen as well. Massive hit as we force the punt. That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable interception. Our feet weren't planted, but I thought for a fact we had 2 guys in the area. How does it go perfectly into the hands of the linebacker? Well, we got it right back into a 3rd down here. Maybe this is a game that our defense ends up winning for us. Hey, good pressure there. They're not having a good time throwing the football. Bad weather conditions are definitely playing a part. We get the ball back. Oh my God, dude. Three turnovers in the first half. Not good. And all due respect to Webb, this is where we need a Tito Williams kickoff return, and except we get a penalty and back at 15 goddamn yards. An absolutely brutal start to a game that we scheduled. Oh, it's on them. Let's go. We need to fire out. We scheduled this game. This is not something that isn't organic. We said, you know what? Let's prove to them that we're the best team. Beat their ass again. And they are out here making us fucking delay a game at home. Take off here with Shannon White. Gets the first down. Takes a big hit, though. Luckily, he's built like a brick shithouse. There we go. Hills. Beautiful ball. Scored a little earlier than I'd like. But given how we've started this game, take the points when you can get them. Man, the fact that any throw like that, it almost feels like regardless of the rating of the defensive players getting jumped. I mean, I guess it's a difficulty thing. I would love for... You know what? Honestly, it might come down to the lack of throw power here, man. 84 throw power, just fucking limp wrist in these throws. Luckily, off of another 3 and out, let's try and not turn the ball over. Defense is playing outstanding here today. Shannon White is not. Like, there was a minute there I thought he was going to start, like, getting some Heisman considerations and discussions. But the fact of the matter is, turnovers are popping off for him right now. But look at that! Getter takes the screen pass to the house. 57 yards. And that is the shot of life we needed. And it's another 3rd down. Kind of a nickel and dime drive here from Louisiana. Which is, you know, the worst kind of drive because we're not getting pressure. We're not really getting close to make any plays. They're just throwing to the middle of the field and not getting punished like when we throw to the middle of the field, which something that we want to kind of clean up here a little bit. They're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th down for Louisiana. I didn't think they're like desperate time like this, but pretty desperate. Let's go, baby. That almost insta-sacked. And look at that. Not only almost insta-sacked, still after the insta-sack, all three guys were locked down covered. Must have missed the memo where Louisiana is going to put 4 fucking DBs in the NFL this year. Oh, let's go! Doesn't have that little special extra speed, that extra gear that Tito has. But that's my backup. Oh no, what happened to Shannon Wyatt? That's one thing I don't like about NCAA Football 14. When you guys get hurt, it's not super obvious. You know, they don't make like a big cutscene for it. Let's get a quick look here. Back spaz. Okay, okay. All right, let's go. I mean, we're going to not rush back in Shannon Wyatt. It's a back injury. So as soon as he come in, he will. But I wasn't going to throw him back in with a high re-injury risk. So we'll keep Weston in for the time being. And as long as he's in, let's run the goddamn football. Love to be able to just push this one in. Let's go get her. Knocks the linebacker 5 feet into the end zone on his ass. That, I don't know. That should be a dagger, honestly. What a run. What a collision. It's like Christian Okoye, Steve Atwater. Big hit by Phillips on Montrell Johnson in this save. Did not transfer to Florida. Hell, Billy Napier's probably still the coach here in Louisiana. But Montrell Johnson's dog, man, that guy probably will play in the NFL. Still don't know how I feel about my Gators, basically picking him over Trevor Etienne, but that is for another video. So we got to focus here. I mean, hey, they're just chewing up their own clock. I mean, they know they're going to have to go for an onside at this point, so I guess scoring quickly is not the end-all. Boom, Chambliss smashes the quarterback. Craig Cunningham gets there as well. And it is going to be 4th and goal. We'll go heavy blitz again. And this could be the dagger. Starting this episode 2-0. A win 2 over 23 Louisiana could bring us into the top 5. There goes Chambliss, shoots the gap. Oh my God, it's another turnover. It's another professional victory. Maybe not the flex that we want. Maybe not some of the big, powerful, dominating wins that we had in the first episode. But 2 competitive games against Syracuse and ranked Louisiana has us rolling into Nerds versus Jocks 5. You know, all the momentum in the world. Shout out Getter for Player of the Week. And it feels like it's just reoccurring every time Nerds versus Jocks comes up on the schedule. Every year, progressively, it has been the biggest Nerds versus Jocks game. I think this one takes the cake, as we are sitting 6th in the nation, undefeated at 6-0. Stanford 4th in the nation, undefeated at 6-0. Corso is taking the Stanford Cardinal. You look at it, our defense, number 2 overall, number 1 rush defense, top 5 pass defense. We actually have an advantage over Stanford offensively. Stanford must have lost a couple seniors. I assume Tanner McKee, who's been a 99 quarterback, went into the draft. But, I mean, they're still good. They're averaging almost 36 points per game. They have a top 5 rushing offense. They are the number 1 defense. So this is going to be a very difficult game where if you had to guess and assume, you're going to say points out of premium. Look at their fucking schedule. Pardon my French. Rice, Virginia, 3 straight FCS teams. Mississippi State, that's, SEC competition. Fucking Mickey Mouse schedule. Hot dog, hot diggity dog type schedule over here. And when it's Nerds versus Jocks, you know we gotta bust the pads out. It's a rainy ass day for Nerds and Jocks. Some might say that could play its hands into the scrappier team. And as you hear the groans, you hear the moans, we know which team's the scrappier team, as there's the bullshit penalty. That's going to cost us all our yards. Great. Home cooking. Glad to see that's on full display. First play of the game. Quick throw. Hills the tight end out of the backfield. Gain of 15. Okay, back-to-back runs is when I start to question Thompson. I like starting out with a run, right? We are very much a time of possession offense. I like to think our offense, similar to, like, remember when the Panthers and Cam Newton made the Super Bowl? They didn't have a lot of elite skill position guys. They had great ones. Jonathan Taylor, D'Angelo Williams, you know, what's Ted Ginn? But, like, ultimately, the Panthers were so good that year because offensively, they're just like, all right, we're going to take 10-minute drive here. Hope you can stop us. That's what we need to be in. 3rd and 7. Tight end over the middle. It's Webb. It's, you know, he's not really a tight, he's kind of a tight end, though. But luckily, we have been able to dominate the time possession. But that doesn't mean anything if we're not scoring. Whole first quarter. Ball with Hollywood Tech in the rain. Don't want to have the big shot plays open ourselves up to a turnover. So we're very much nickel and diamond. The Stanford Cardinal. 2 of 2 on 3rd down. Methodical. But if we can't do anything with it here, you know, they score quick. One thing can lead to another. Oh my God. He's close. He gets it. Shannon Wyatt falls forward. Terrible tackle. But I don't know if that was a trailing D end or not, but that was not good. 6-minute drive and counting, and on these little bit lighter quarters. It's huge, man. But the run game has been not a great compliment, averaging 1.5 yards per carry. So let's see if we can open things up here a little bit with the pass. Check down to the running back. That's a bad drop, man. Again, he catches that and runs. That's a gain of, who knows, could still be running. So that sets up 3rd and 11. We're in no man's land. This could be a 4 down. Because I think that's a little long of a field goal. Love Hills has been getting open. Middle of the field, we're going to bail out of the pocket. We're going to float it to Hills. What a grab. What a throw. The patience from Shannon White there. The touch to make sure that that ball was accurate. If not, the Cardinal player was right there getting ready for a pick. Flick of the wrist. And I mean, if this is last week, that's picked off. That pick got picked off last week. They are crowding the line of scrimmage. It's going to be tough. I think the punch just went in, but Getter gets in. It's almost like the Stanford defense gassed. They've been on the field for a long time. And for how long we took to score, we had to finish. Nothing less than a touchdown would have been our failure. Now, I'm not nearly scared of the Stanford offense as I am their defense. We need to go out here. 3rd and 9. Cunningham, who's kind of stepped up here a little bit. He's going to need to continue with Shamblers with a huge hit on 3rd down. Brings up 4th and 3. And that's a punt for the good guys. I think this is the absolute worst thing. Everything went our way. Long drive, touchdown. 3-0 Stanford. We're getting the ball back. Now, they do get the ball to start the second half. So I think this here, ideally, another long-ass drive so they can't get a 2-for-1. Or you get a wide open Greg Webb. That is a busted coverage and a free 26-yard gain for Hollywood Tech. We go Gator out the backfield. Linebacker Cave Gator hits the nos, and he is in. Big screen pass for a touchdown last week. Similar play. Yards after catch. No linebackers. As soon as I saw they were blitzing the linebacker, knew that play, knew the middle of the field was going to be open. Didn't think he'd have the juice to finish that off, but we will take it. Good guys up 14-zip. I don't know what, the 35, 34? Let's go from the inside. Black closes the pocket. Pressure is there. Oh my God, how are we not turning these into turnovers? Hill has like 2 or 3 picks on the year. That hits him in the goddamn face. That is brutal. Maybe the weather affecting this. 3rd and 2, trying to kill this game off. Broken tackle. Let's go. Clock keeps a rolling. Ah! Oh my God, they're just gassed. At this point, they've just been on the field for so long. It's like a warm knife through butter. 1st and goal, Butler subs in. Last year's starter, let's get him involved. He knows a thing or two. He wants revenge from last year's loss against these nerds. Get her done. What a day. As the Jocks defeat the nerds right where we need to. We moved to 7-8 And oh, we put the one blemish on the Stanford Cardinals record. Getter, 87 yards and a touchdown, 46 through the air and a touchdown. Huge performance going up against this big-time Stanford defense. And we completely demolished them. Controlled the clock, time of possession. Their offense had like 2 first downs. Their offense sucks, let's be honest. They're worse than a lot of the teams we face in the Sun Belt. But their defense is elite, and they couldn't keep them in this game. And I mean, sky's the limit for how high we're going. I'm saying we're going to be third. We're going to be third in the polls when everything updates. Looking at our player stats, I mean, an efficient game from White. Again, back-to-back games where the weather hasn't really opened itself up to throwing the ball and letting loose. Touchdown for Shannon White, did what he needed to do. 87 yards and a touchdown for Getter. Butler got a score as well. 46 yards for Getter. Just, limited passing offense. Defense was outstanding, though. A lot of just coverage, Didn't get a lot of TFLs, didn't get a lot of sacks, had the drop pick. It was just pressure, throws in the dirt. No one's open. Locking them up. Hell of a performance. All right, now that we've transformed back to our natural form, we got an upgrade out of this one for Tom Savage, which is now going to finally allow us to start working on the Saban factor, which has been a long time coming. As we await the pulse from our Week 9 victory, we're still in for the recruits, which is good. I'm going to say third. There we go. But uncharted territory for our squad. And what we do know, what is charted territory, is the amount of times we've had our big upsets, our big wins, when we were shit and we would beat Stanford. The following week, we would just lay an egg. A lot of times we lose coming off a gigantic win. And this is absolutely a potential spoiler. You look at Georgia Tech, they're still better than us. They have an A- offense, which is shocking. They have a better defense. All their offensive totals are better than us. We just hope our elite defense can continue. I mean, you look at the record for Georgia Tech. Not 3-4, but Mississippi, Ole Miss, number 2 Notre Dame. They lost by a field goal. Took, somewhat competitive game against ranked Clemson. They beat North Carolina State. They beat Duke. We split that. They lost to North Carolina. It was good. They beat it. I mean, it's a very difficult schedule. They are a lot better than the record looks like. Quick update on our recruiting because we have that lead that's honestly, all 4 of these guys. We have a lead, and it's that lead that you just know come week 10, week 11, week 12, the other teams are just going to pass you. We're still in the lead for Michael East, still in the lead for Sean Hawkins, but, I mean, these are arguably our 2 least desirable targets in terms of need, because we need guard. Charles Moore looks like that's going to be tough to swing. Walter Brown still in the lead, and the fact that Marshall's the second-best team, I'd be a lot more worried if it was Penn State, because we're a better program than Marshall. I mean, we beat Marshall every time we played them when we were in the Sun Belt. So optimistic there that at least, East, Hawkins, and Brown are still going to come for the good guys. Going to be tough to get Charles Moore. Let's go, Jackson. Use that speed, boy. 99 spot. Almost that dude. Almost that dude. But for right now, he's just a little baby boy. But once he becomes a little bit more of a consistent weapon. Here we go. Gator breaks the tackle. He's into the second level. Breaks another one. Keep going. What a run. Mini Beastquake. Contravious. Get her. Get her done. That guy's going to get NIL with Larry the Cable Guy. For Georgia Tech here into our territory. I love it. I love that play where my D tackle's dropping back into coverage. That's where we want him. That's where we want him. Big hit by Phillips. 230-pound safety. But I do think with that missed extra point, if we can stop here, they might just take the field goal. That is a loss of 3 yards. Great tackle there from the interior. And I think they are going to settle for a field goal here. Yes. So, it's not bad. Not the end of the world. Right here. This is where Neighbors needs to win. You get a quick slant out the top. You're going to get matched up against a linebacker. Float it in, make sure it goes over the linebacker, gets decapitated, but a big gain for Malik Neighbors, 20 yards. Shannon White out for a play. So we're on to our backup quarterback. Okay. Get a quick update here, please. Hopefully it's back spasms. Strained pec will return. Okay, that's good. Did take a lot of hits, though. We have been scrambling a lot with Shannon White, so that's kind of what happens. And here's some adversity right here. Oh, that's actually a ridiculous grab. Especially, you know, who knows how long we're going to be rocking with the backup quarterback. Take the points as they come. We got into a 3rd and 12. And I do think the longer, like if we could have a little bit here of like let them get a couple first downs but ultimately force a punt, just gives us more time for the quarterback to get ready to get back in the lineup. But let's just sack the shit out of them and get the ball back. I don't know what that was. Blown screen pass with a running back never. Did he get blown up? I don't know, but hey, hell of a play by White to get a first down there. 2nd and 5, we're going to see we can on a play action. Kane Osborne, the walk-on freshman tight end, is going to be our go-to here if he can get open. Doesn't really win, but we can go back to the middle of the field to Malik Neighbors. Makes a couple guys miss. That is going to be also 15, half the distance to the goal. Would have loved him to score, though. He's on 7 touchdowns this year, but he's on a cold streak this episode. And it would have been real cool to kind of get him back on the scoreboard and give him some momentum. And now, clearly in a situation, let's just run this goddamn ball down their throats. And get it. Wow. Okay, didn't get in there. We'll see with how our defenses play today, though. Another touchdown here. I think it's going to be tough. Georgia Tech here. Going to need a couple tutties. Here we go. Bush, let's go. First game back. Blows up the Georgia Tech quarterback. 3 TFLs. Gets his sack. He's going to be huge for us down the stretch here. 3rd and goal. Definitely 4-down territory. Bush and Cunningham. Let's see it. Get a sack. Make this impossible. Oh, wow. Wow, they get a fucking tight end matched up against a D tackle. Quick slants. Now, one more first down. It's going to put us in a really good spot here to see this one out. Jackson Neighbors. Boom. But a Jackson, tough grab, holds on 13 yards. Georgia Tech uses their last timeout. Honestly, no real pretty victories here today. But you know what they say about an ugly win? Huh? Still a win. And especially in the context of wins translate to off-season transfer portal opportunities. Keep piling them up. Keep stacking them up. The bad thing with our ugly wins, though, is that they're not going to make us leapfrog the standings too much. So we finished the episode 3rd ranked in the nation, 8-0. When we come back next episode, we got Virginia, North Carolina, SMU, and finish with a big-time battle of Florida against ranked Miami. But just to get an idea of where we're at in the polls. Oregon undefeated. Some of us, I love to see that there's a little, maybe some of a discussion between us and Notre Dame. Who's the best? Akron is undefeated. Cal is undefeated. Arkansas State, back in the Sun Belt, undefeated. Love seeing the Sun Belt still thriving there a little bit. A couple more one-loss teams down here a little bit. But ultimately, you know, we're in a really, really good spot. Especially with, you know, offense didn't really go our way. Our passing offense was good last episode. This episode, not so much. And our quarterback very much felt like a converted running back. But we're in a terrific spot. And, you know, let's be honest. We're going to be heavy favorites against Virginia. We're going to be favorites against North Carolina. Heavy favorites against SMU. And everything could come down. Undefeated season to that ranked Miami game. So it's going to be a banger of an episode when we get back. What date? Today's Tuesday. I'm probably thinking Thursday. We'll have another episode at latest Friday. But I will try to get it Thursday so that we can have an episode Thursday. And then on the weekend, I got a busy weekend. It's my daughter's 3rd birthday. So trying to squeeze in everything this week. But it won't be too long. So thank you guys very much for watching. As always, your first time stop by. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, your boys, C4, say peace and love you. Have a good one.